All right, so as you can see, we did BeatGig. Do you have a clicker? You want to go to the next one for us? Go over why we chose BeatGig real quick, and then we'll talk a little bit more about it. So BeatGig, first of all, actually came with our idea more with our venture capital fund. So we work mostly with SaaS companies, and we found that they just were a better fit in that sense. Their ability to invest pre-tax dollars was a huge thing. So because they don't have to expand with different types of products and things of that sort, they can put everything back into marketing and sales. When we had talked to them, they had stated that each new employee will very quickly make up their entire cost of being there and then make them money within that first year. So we thought that was very important. And then there was no competitors that we could find that were focusing on the same market as them. And as we go through this slide, we'll see how big that market actually is. Again, the difference between BeatGig and BarTrax, there's no production, no QA issues. So yeah, let's head on to the next one. So again, market summary, BeatGig is doing everything with Greek life currently, so they are expanding into multiple different colleges. So right now they're working in 120 different colleges, and there are about 650 campuses that have Greek life. So at the end of the day, what we found is that 3% of the entire US population is or was a Greek life member, and we can see from their 90% retention rate that we think in the long run, they will be able to reach an extremely large market cap by focusing on that.
Yeah, so exactly. As Cam said, basically it's a $3.7 billion industry, live music currently. So specifically what BeatGig actually covers is Greek life. It basically connects artists with either fraternities within Greek life. So it's a live music marketplace platform that connects those two and two together. So we were surprised when we were very pleased to find out that they have a 90% customer retention rate. It's practically unheard of. That was a big draw for us. Average customer annual expense, given his statistics, were about $11,000, which then translates 10% into about $1,100 annual revenue per customer. So we're actually expecting to expand on campus with larger Greek life budgets, thereby expanding our revenue and profits at the same time. So BeatGig is a SaaS company connecting buyers and sellers for a specific fee. The fee is around 10%. So what makes them different? Their main competitive advantage is that they can basically build a moat around their company. You wonder about like Amazon, Alibaba, AliExpress. Why aren't there other companies doing exactly what they're doing, maybe with lower fees? Why doesn't another company come in and take over BeatGig with 8% fees? It's because they specifically, instead of going after the whole music industry, they're specifically targeting Greek life industry, which actually makes up, as we will later go on to, quite a large percentage, about $420 million worth of money. So BeatGig will be the first actual application to monopolize Greek life industry, thereby connecting artists with consumers.
So, as has been touched on a couple of times, the plan of growth for BeatGig is to continue to penetrate into this expansive Greek life market, and really kind of following off Peter Thiel's theory of building monopoly in a very small market segment before moving on to a larger market. That's what we really saw as a promising aspect to BeatGig. And so, given their 90% retention rate, they have the ability, as a direct sales company, they have to put in an initial amount of money up front to earn them customers, but they won't have to keep going back. And because 3% of the United States population is or has been a part of Greek life, we see a very large market opportunity just within that certain sector, as a lot of these fraternities and sororities have a very strong alumni network. And so the ability for members currently in the fraternities who are using BeatGig to be kind of ambassadors and continue to propagate that marketing to people who have already graduated from the university, we see as a huge opportunity for the company. So in summary, we see this opportunity within the Greek life to be tremendous growth in the coming years, equating to 277, or we've seen 277% growth over when the pitch deck was pitched during their initial investing run. They were only bringing in about $300,000 of top line revenue, and this academic semester in the spring, which isn't even finished yet, for 2019, they brought in $5 million already. So over the course of that, just over 2 years, it's been almost 300% growth. We saw that as something extremely promising and almost an outlier. So given all these factors put together, we saw BeatGig as a very promising investment opportunity and would like to put funds towards it in the future.
How many funds?
Go ahead.
How much is your investment?
Roughly $3 million.
So the full amount that they're asking for?
We believe that given their retention rate and how much they've grown in the past, the 277%, we'd be more than happy to do that.
Tell us a little bit about your investment strategy so far. What else have you invested in?
So mostly, yeah, we've worked with a lot of tech companies doing similar platform services and things of that sort. So we've worked on companies similar to Facebook, not quite the size obviously, but in some sense. Just trying to find a small niche competitive advantage in the software industry.
This is a softball question.
So a comment that somebody made a couple minutes ago about the number of people who are in the Greek system and then something about a huge market after they graduate. What did you mean by that?
So yeah, there's yeah, sure. So if we go back real quick. So yeah, as we were talking, they had said that BeatGig had a 90% customer retention rate, and so we expect people to use BeatGig long after they have graduated for that reason. And then 3% of the entire U.S. population is actually, or was, a member of Greek Life. And so while we won't see that come right away, we think that in the future that will continue to expand.
I would question
Sure.
that assumption and how many people graduate from college and are in a position to hire a band and how frequently that happens. I think what BeatGig means when they say we have retention, X% customer retention, is the same fraternity is using them next year.
Exactly.
Not members of the fraternity individually are using them in the future. I think that's what they mean.
Yeah, that's definitely a very important clarifying question, because when I said what is your retention rate per customer,
The customer
that is what I heard. So that
would be, alpha, 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 sorority, that's the customer.
okay.
And the customer is that entity.
So it's a business.
Not individuals
Okay.
who are part of that group. But still, I like the slide and I like your thought process about presenting the statistics and talking about growth.
And I'll make you feel better because the software as a service, the SaaS aspect of it, 86 to 92% is the success measure of a SaaS software company. If you fall in that range,
In terms of retention,
you are going to be a very successful SaaS company. So anything below that, you start slipping down the slide. So 90% is a very strong number.
Thank you, sir.
So that's great. Talk about use of funds. You're going to be the sole investor in this round. What are you going to? You did a little bit in the first slide.
Yeah. We expect most of that again to go back into marketing and salespeople. So because their ability to actually hire a salesperson and have that contribute to top-line revenue almost instantaneous, as long as they can, and if they say they can, use that to hire on more people and continue to grow that, and we think that's the best use of the funds.
I like that you said that each new hire adds to the top line.
Yeah, like Cameron was saying, each new hire adds
The bottom
about
line.
500,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, either, yeah, right, you want that, yeah.
In prep kind of for this next piece that's coming, tell us a little bit about what your requirements are gonna be for them in this term sheet.
Yeah, we
What
definitely.
strings are attached to your money?
We absolutely need to
Exactly.
know where the money is going, obviously, the first thing. So understanding what they need the money for. So are they using it for what we are going to ask? And that will be the number one qualifying question in that sense.
Board seat?
I'm sorry?
You're gonna take a board seat? You're gonna demand a board seat?
I'm not sure, actually. Yeah. I think we would actually have to think a little bit more about that. We actually haven't thought about that one.
Any special terms or metrics that you want to hold them accountable to?
I would say definitely one that we kind of talked a little bit about, that we're gonna talk about some more. Every new hire that they bring on to at least meet the requirement of $500,000 a year in total revenue. So actually, he had talked about that a little bit, how they do upwards of 500,000, but at least a minimum of 500,000.
And I actually think that we are a little bit confused on this because we thought we were more of actually pitching it to you, not as what we're going to invest in. We thought that was going to be for the next round.
No, you're, no,
So I
you
think
are.
that-
The next
okay.
round is the term sheet.
Yes.
We're dropping some hints about
Okay.
what things
Yeah.
might go
Perfect.
into the term sheet to help you in the
Appreciate
next,
that.
in the next